Hello, Bali! Are you happy to be in Bali? Oh, yeah, me either. What a joke. Are you happy to be in Bali? The weather, the people, the food. Thank you, Bali. Thank you, GSS, for having this amazing event. So, welcome, friends and fellow speakers, to the topic of elevating audience engagement. Moving beyond pair and share. You know that old chestnut? Turn to the person next to you and tell them how fabulous the speaker is. You know what I'm talking about. Now, it's an oldie, but don't worry, we'll do some. It's an oldie, but a goodie for sure. But I think today we can do a little bit more than that. What do you reckon? Sally, a little bit more? Yes. Fantastic. Okay. So, of course, I'm going to start our conversation today with a little bit of energy, some music, some movement, some clapping and some dancing. But I could have equally started our session today in silence, with stillness, and perhaps even some intrigue. What does the number 20 stand for, and why do we care as speakers? Don't worry, all will be revealed. So I'm curious, what does engagement mean to you as a speaker on stage? Is it energy? Is it interaction? Is it activity? And if it is these things, what does that mean for the introverts among us, right? What does that mean for the more somber keynote topics? So today we are going to explore what engagement means on stage. And I'd like to start with an activity. Of course, I'm going to start with activity because we're going to have a competition with the room next door, aren't we? No, we're definitely not doing that.
That doesn't work well. Okay, so we're going to do a quick activity to explore what does engagement as a speaker on stage mean to you. Here's what we'll do. I'm going to ask you to sum up engagement in one word for you. And not now, but in a moment, you're going to hold your finger up like this, and that's going to show your word. And you're going to eyeball some people either side of you, and that's going to form a little group of about 4. And one by one, you're going to go around your group and everyone's going to share what their word is, yes? And then when you've spoken your word, you put your finger down and we hear from the next person. Now, if somebody steals your thunder and says your word, you get to say, bingo! Isn't that fun? So let's do a quick warm-up. If my word is attention and I say attention, and then Jason's word is also, that was yours, was it? Well, what do we say, folks? Yes, all right. Thank you for the demo, my friend. All right, so, and then we move on to the next person. We got it? Yes. All right, on your marks, get set, go. Form your groups, go. Okie dokie. All right, friends. All right, friends. Woo! Okay. So, how did we go? Lots of energy, lots of engagement. We are understanding from each other. What does the word engagement mean to me on stage? So, did we get any bingos? Yes. We did, yes. Did we get any double bingos? Oh, all right. That's okay, that's all right. Let's do a collective sense of how much we are in agreement or how unique we are when it comes to this interpretation. So I'm going to choose 3 volunteers, my friend. You can stay seated. Just smile at me so I remember you. You're my volunteer number 2. We've got to remember this because I won't. And you're my volunteer number 3. All right. So where's my number 1? What was your word, my friend?
Actually, bingo, because it is attention.
Okay. All right. Well, I was going to ask, who else had bingo as their word? Give me a bingo. Oh, that was very unique. Well done, you. All right, where's my number 2? What was your word, my friend?
Connection.
Connection. Do we have any connections? Give me a bingo.
Bingo.
Oh, nice. I like it. Cyril, what was your word?
Connection.
Oh!
Double bingo.
Double bingo. Yes. All right, so as you can see, we've got some shared ideas about what engagement means, and we've got some different ideas as well. And so do your audiences. Engagement means different things to different people on stage. So our job is to explore today. We're going on a treasure hunt, my friends. We are going to find as many engagement strategies as we can. So here we go. Back to our mystery number. So 20. 20 is the number of engagement strategies on display in this 20-minute presentation today. And your job is to find them. Now, a couple of words about this. We are going analog. As you can see, no fancy PowerPoint, no fancy tech. We're going old school. What I'm doing, what you're doing. Also, clearly 20 is not an exhaustive list. It's still a long list in 20 minutes. And there's no expectation that you're going to use all 20 every time you do a presentation, like what I'm doing today. And I also assume that some of you will be using a lot of these strategies already. In fact, I really hope that you are. And I also hope that I can inspire you, nay, challenge you to maybe add 1 or 2 to the repertoire after today's discussion. All right, so here we go. What we're going to do is a warm-up round. I want you just to get used to this. So let's review the first 5 minutes of this presentation so far. It's only been about 5 minutes. Isn't that amazing? All right, so 5 minutes so far. There have been 10 strategies at least on display already. Yeah, so your opportunity right now is to do the classic pair and share. Yes, this is our first time. I want you to turn to the person next to you and list as many strategies as you can remember. Go. Okay, let's bring it back to the front. Let's bring it back to the front. So engagement as a speaker on stage to me is about earning your audience's attention again and again and again. And I have 3 intentions for our session today. One is to demo, not just dialogue. So I want to show you and not just talk about the theory. Number 2, I want to challenge our perception of what it means to be engaging on stage. And number 3, I want to expand our collective toolkit.
You are in a room of incredible, talented, global speakers. Now is the time to learn from each other, yeah? Okay, so
how did you go? I want to know. Here we go. Let's do the debrief. Are you ready for the great reveal? All right. Okay. Don't you love speaking to speakers? I do. Such good audiences, so well behaved. All right. She says, priming them to behave well, like the clicker. Come on, clicker. Here's one. Oh, we got our first one.
my intention is to go really quickly
Through these, and that is not happening. So I'll stand right here. Yep, that'll do it. There we go. Okay. So these are some of the classics that I hope you saw from the very first 5 minutes. Movement, clapping, music, laughter, activity, basics, right? So I'm assuming you at least got a couple of these ones. Of course, we've also got the classic pair and share, which I've talked about. We also did a plenary activity. So let's get a collective idea of how many bingos we can get in the room. And so that's about moving from small safety conversations in pairs to creating a sense of one across the whole room. Of course, now we're leveling up a little bit. So did you get these ones? Yes, okay, it was a mystery. Whether or not it was going to come up. Yes. So the mystery was there are 20. What does the word 20 mean in this conversation today, right? So your brain is now hooked. I don't know what it means, Annalie. Please enlighten me. But then, ta-da, I didn't tell you. How rude. I left an open loop so that your brain would continue to pay attention to get that answer. And of course, I didn't do this, but I'm going to do this right now. Ta-da! Okay, so I skipped that bit. Anyway, besides that, so the bell's about novelty and surprise. We want to keep the audience guessing and engaged and keep the attention constantly on open loop. So, how did you go, my friends? Give me a bingo if you got at least one of those on the list. Bingo. Yes, of course you did. Give me a bingo if you're going to use at least one of these on the list. Bingo. See, I told you, best audience ever. All right, fantastic. So that was the warm-up round. Now we're going to get really serious, folks. All right, so remember, we are on a treasure hunt together. 20 strategies in 20 minutes. We've just done the first 10. FYI, there's a bunch more, isn't there? You know that, right? There's a bunch more. We've got not enough time to go through them all, but I know that you're seeing them. I'm impressed with you. I want you to know. All right, so we've done the first 10 in the first 5 minutes. Now let's see if we can find the next 10. So in this section, I need you to really pay attention. You are going to have to hunt for these ones. They may not be as obvious to all of you. I suggest you grab a pen and paper, maybe a note-taking app, something that you can really take quick notes with if you can. Now I'm going to do a little bit of content in this round so you have something to watch and I have something to demonstrate. Bless you. Okay, so I'm going to do a bit of demonstration and then we'll unpack and find the strategies. FYI, I may be demonstrating some already. Okay, here we go. And action. In 2018, some researchers from UC Berkeley and Princeton University discovered that attention works like a strobe light, right? It flashes on and off, not like a steady stream that gets held. So I'm curious, how many times per second do you think our attention is flashing on and off? Just get the number in your mind. How many times per second is our attention flashing on and off? 4. So were you surprised? Maybe you had more, maybe you had less. So 4 times a second our attention is flashing on and off. And what that tells me as a speaker is that not only do we have to grab the audience's attention, but we have to grab their attention again and again and again, yeah? We want to create audiences that are filled with what my mentor calls lighthouses. Have you heard this term? The lighthouses are the audience members that are beaming love and light right at you and you can't take your eyes off them. They are smiling at you, they are nodding at you, they're doing all the activities and they are validating you in a way your parents never could. Like, you know what I'm talking about. And some of you are doing this for me now and I see you and I thank you. Sometimes people are so engaged in what we're doing that they forget what they're doing. I remember once I had a presentation, it was similar to this and I was throwing some questions out to the audience and there was an AV guy at the back and he was very engaged and he was answering all the questions. And him and I were having a bit of a dialogue in a weird way, like, without the audience members involved. And at the end of the presentation, he very kindly came up to me and he said, so Annalie, sorry about that, love. My inside voice became my outside voice. Sorry, no filter. Anyway, carry on, good job. And I said, well, thanks, because really, it's kind of flattering, right? Or maybe you've had this scenario. Okay, maybe this has happened to you. Have you had a time where you're about to go on stage and you think, I'll just get a couple of quick shots for social media, yeah? So I'll hand my phone over to someone in the audience who I can trust and say, could you please take a couple of photos for me when I'm on stage? And you hand it to them expecting a reel of awesome shots that you can post immediately. And you go on stage and you think, I'm absolutely killing it, can't wait for these photos. You get off, you're walking towards a person. You know where I'm going with this, don't you? Yep, and you know immediately when you look at their face, 0 shots on your camera. One job, my friend, 0 shots. And you get up to this person, and again, they look at you with horror in their face. Oh my God, I am so sorry. I just got so engaged with what you were saying. I'm sorry, I just completely forgot. I'm really sorry. And you don't know whether to be mad or glad. But again, it's pretty flattering, right? And cut. Okay, here we go. Let's debrief. I really want to stay down here. Is it going to let me? Yes. Oh. All right. Oh, okay, I'll stay on the stage. All right, so actually, I'm not going to tell you. You've got to debrief. All right. All right. Who was it? And who said bingo? You guys are too good. You're too good. Okay, so again, rapid round, 30-second, classic pair and share. Apart from callback, you're not allowed to say call. None of you are allowed to say that. How many strategies can you find? Go. Bells. Bells, you can now put this one on your list, yeah? All right, let's debrief how you went. Lots of activity, lots of engagement. I'm loving the level of conversation in this room right now. Okay, so I did a callback. Ha, ta-da. Thank you. And the callback is a call and response. So give me a bingo, bingo, give me a bingo, bingo, that sort of jazz. All right, the second one was... We're really going to move really quickly. Challenge, very good. We're going on a treasure hunt, my friends. You've got to really pay attention here. What can you find? I gave you very explicit instructions. Doesn't sound very engaging, but your brain goes, oh, is that what I'm expected to do? Gotcha, thank you. Write stuff down, take notes, pay attention. Third one is the whisper. I may be doing this already. Did you get that? As soon as you whisper on stage, people go, ooh, something very important's coming. All right, the next one, gestures. So we're flashing, we're going clear gestures. I asked the question, how many times per second? You didn't have to answer, but you answered in your mind. So you are already engaging with the material and yourself, which is what we want. Stories, I talked about the AV guy, used a couple of characters, not too over the top, just a little bit. I heroed the audience. So this was you with your mobile phone getting photos taken on stage. And I did a little exercise around priming. So this was around, this is going to be difficult. You are going to have to pay attention. So I'm telling your brain, no slackers in this room, my friend. You've got to really level up and pay attention. We're going somewhere and I expect you to come with me. Your brain goes, righto, Annalie, I am with you. So that's a priming technique there. How did you go? That's really, give yourself a round of applause. That's 20 in 20. Yes. Now, of course, that is not an exhaustive list. If you do want that list, I've got a QR code at the end, no mailing list or anything like that. You can just get that if you want that. But we are at a conference of global speakers. So you've got now the next couple of days, you are primed and ready to go to start paying attention to the engagement strategies around you. So I encourage you to continue doing what we've just done now. As a speaker on stage, engagement is not just about interaction. It's also about intrigue. And it's not just about high energy, it's also about stillness. And it's not just about the activities, it's also about the insights. So engagement to me is about earning the audience's attention again and again and again. And the more strategies you have to do that, the more you'll be able to speak on the stage and the more impact you'll have on the global stage. And that is my hope for you. Thank you.